Chapter 8. Lucy's brilliant idea. "We found them," Nate said. "We get the treasure." "Well, the swans really found them first," Bradley said. "Guys, let's move away from the pond," Lucy said. "The swans think we're going to steal the eggs." The kids and Pal walked over to the band shell and sat. Pal flopped on the ground with his head on his front paws. "So what should we do?" asked Brian. "I want a prize." "I feel sorry for the swans," Lucy said. "Why?" Nate asked. "Well, because I think I stole their eggs." Because I think something stole their eggs," Lucy said. "Maybe it was the raccoons or that snake. But now they don't have any eggs to hatch. That must be why they took ours." "Yeah, swans think that the eggs will hatch," Bradley said. "But they won't because they're hard-boiled." "Aw, that's a bummer," Nate said. "The swans will keep waiting and waiting, but nothing will happen." "Oh." "I have an idea," Bradley said. "Let's get them another swan egg. One that will hatch." "Well, where do we get one?" Brian asked. Bradley stood up, and Pal jumped to his feet. "There are swans at the petting zoo," Bradley said. "Maybe they have eggs." "Cool," Nate said. "And we know someone who works there." 5 minutes later, the kids and Pal walked through the petting zoo gate. They stopped to pet a baby goat. Then they found the office and went inside. "Well, hi, gang," said a smiling man with gray hair. He was sitting at the desk, typing on a computer. It wasn't Mr. Neater, who used to be the janitor at their school. The kids had helped him find a home for his pet rabbit at the petting zoo. "Hi, Mr. Neater," Bradley said. "How's Douglas?" "Ask him yourself," Mr. Neater said. "He's here on my lap." The kids walked closer. A large rabbit was sound asleep on Mr. Neater's knees. Pal whimpered and tried to lick Douglas. Bradley held the leash tightly. "Can I pet him?" Lucy asked. Mr. Neater smiled. "Douglas will be sad if you don't," he said. Lucy patted the rabbit's soft head. Douglas twitched his ears and wiggled his tail. "What brings you kids here?" Mr. Neater asked. Bradley told Mr. Neater about the golden eggs in the swan's nest. "My goodness, that is a problem," Mr. Neater said. "It's a sad thing, but a lot of wild birds lose their eggs to other animals who want to eat them." "We were wondering if the petting zoo still has swans," Bradley said. "Why, yes, we have a pair out in the barn," Mr. Neater said. Then he grinned. "Say, I bet I know what you're thinking. You want one of their eggs, right?" "Do they have any eggs, Mr. Neater?" Nate asked. Mr. Neater nodded. "You bet. I think they have a bunch this season." "Wow, could we get one?" Bradley asked. "Let's go talk to Tom, our swan expert," Mr. Neater said. He put Douglas on the floor and stood up. "Follow me." Mr. Neater led the kids and Pal into a small barn. The first thing they saw was a mother hen and a batch of yellow baby chicks. "Over this way," Mr. Neater said. They followed him to a pen. Inside the pen, 2 swans were lying on some straw. An open door led to an outdoor area with a small pond. The mama is the one with her head down, and there is her clutch of eggs. Bradley gasped. Up close, the swans were really big. They were as white as snow with orange beaks and bright, shiny eyes. "Hi, Mr. Neater." a voice said. A young man walked over to the pen. He was wearing a dark green sweatshirt with petting zoo on a patch on this one sleeve. Hi, Tom, Mr. Nader said. He introduced the kids to Pal, and then he told Tom about the swans in the park. My young friends are hoping your swans won't mind giving one of their eggs, Mr. Nader said. Well, I'm sure they won't mind, Tom said. In fact, they have too many eggs. They usually lay from 3 to 8, but this year we have 10. Tom entered the pen and spoke softly to the mother swan. He reached into the nest and pulled out 2 greenish-colored eggs. These should hatch in about 10 days, Tom said. But we have to put them in the new nest pretty fast. But what if the snake or the raccoons eat them before they hatch? Tom put the eggs inside his sweatshirt pocket. That's always a problem, he said. He looked at Mr. Nader. Any suggestions? The man shook his head. I have an idea, Lucy said. They all listened as she explained. You know, that just might work. Tom said, I'll meet you guys in front in 5 minutes. Chapter 9.